When we think about counting and numbers, we usually imagine humans sitting in classrooms, solving math problems on paper. But what if I told you that some animals can also understand numbers, quantities, and even basic math concepts? Not in the way we write equations, of course, but through an ability scientists call numerical cognition. This is the natural skill to recognize, compare, and estimate quantities. And it turns out, many animals use this skill every day to survive, hunt, protect their young, and make smart decisions in the wild. Let's start with one of the most famous number-savvy animals, the chimpanzee. In research labs, chimps have shocked scientists by outperforming humans in memory and number recognition tests. Some chimps can instantly recognize quantities on a screen and touch the correct numbers in order faster than most adult humans. In the wild, this ability helps them count rival group members before entering a fight. If they're outnumbered, they retreat. If they have the advantage, they move forward. That's not instinct alone. That's strategic counting. Next up, crows and ravens. These birds are among the smartest creatures on Earth. They don't just recognize faces and use tools. They can also count. Scientists discovered that crows can distinguish between different numbers of objects, sounds, and even people. In experiments, crows could tell the difference between 2, 3, and 4 items consistently. In nature, this helps them protect their nests. If a crow sees 3 eggs one day and only 2 the next, it knows something is wrong and reacts immediately. Then there are elephants. These giants of the animal kingdom have massive brains and extraordinary memory. Elephants can recognize differences in group sizes and use this skill to judge threats. If a small group of lions approaches, elephants may stand their ground. But if they sense a larger number, they quickly organize their defense or escape. Researchers believe elephants don't just see many or few, they understand how many. Now let's talk about dolphins. Dolphins are not only playful, they are mathematically gifted. In controlled studies, dolphins were trained to respond to different numbers of sounds or symbols. They could identify and remember exact quantities. In the wild, this skill helps them coordinate hunting strategies. When dolphins hunt in groups, they must understand how many members are needed to surround and trap schools of fish. Counting isn't just useful, it's essential for teamwork. Even insects show number abilities. Honeybees, for example, can count landmarks. When a bee flies from its hive to a flower, it remembers the number of visual markers it passes. If it usually passes 3 trees and suddenly sees 4, it knows something has changed. That's a tiny brain doing big math. Dogs also understand numbers in a more emotional and social way. Studies show dogs can recognize when the number of treats changes unfairly. If you give one dog 2 treats and another dog only 1, the second dog notices. It might not say 2 minus 1 equals 1, but it feels the difference and reacts. So how do animals count without numbers or language? They use something called approximate number sense. This allows them to estimate and compare quantities quickly. It's not exact like human math, but it's powerful. The larger the difference between 2 numbers, the easier it is for animals to tell them apart. For example, it's easy to see the difference between 2 apples and 8 apples, but harder to see the difference between 7 and 8. Animals follow the same rule. What's fascinating is that this ability didn't evolve for school or tests. It evolved for survival. Animals count to know how many predators are nearby. They count their babies to see if one is missing. They count their enemies before attacking. And they count food sources to decide where to hunt. So next time you look at an animal, remember, behind those eyes is a brain that doesn't just react, it calculates. Not with pencils or calculators, but with instinct, memory, and intelligence shaped by millions of years of evolution. Animals may not write numbers, but in their own powerful way, they truly understand them.